Hey everyone, Dr. Mike here with Sport Horse Chiropractic, recording here at the Zone 2 Horse Show in Salt Lake City. I thought I'd take a few minutes and address a question I've been getting a lot here, which is why should my horse be adjusted? So horses benefit tremendously from chiropractic care, regardless of the discipline in which the horse participates, from trail riding, competitive roping, dressage. Chiropractic care benefits them all. Owners, riders, and trainers are constantly asking their horses to do incredible things for them, and animals are always trying to please by performing at their best. Most horse owners that I have come across take amazing care of their animals. However, most care that is routinely provided for horses, other than typical checkups, vaccinations, etc., is reactionary, meaning that we don't usually provide care for the horse until something starts to show up. That something could be as slight as a grade 1 lameness, a more serious problem such as colic or laminitis, or the rider may notice that all of a sudden the horse doesn't want to take a certain lead or lope in a particular direction. Whatever it is that prompts the decision to contact the healthcare provider, it is normally something that happens once a problem has been identified. But what if there was something you could do before a problem arises? What if there was a preventative service that could help to prevent lameness, decrease pain, prevent sickness, and even increase performance? Well, that's exactly what chiropractic does. But how can chiropractic prevent lameness? This is every horse owner's dream, right? How can this happen? How can chiropractic accomplish this? Well, you have to look at why lameness typically occurs. And it occurs due to increased biomechanical stress being placed upon an area of the body that's not designed to withstand those stresses. Take a person, for example. Have you ever twisted your ankle, hurt your knee, hurt your hip? What happens when we do this? Well, we tend to compensate for the injured ankle. We put more weight on the good ankle. We do this to prevent pain sensations that we would get if we put weight on the injured ankle. But what happens to the good ankle if we bear abnormal weight on it over an extended period of time? The soft tissues that support that ankle start to become inflamed, swollen, tender, results in pain. Well, when you're a 1,200-pound animal and you compensate for even a minor injury, it doesn't take long for the compensating area to start to hurt. And so sometimes this results in an area of the body being treated that is actually not the cause of the problem. Some owners might think to themselves, geez, I spent all this money trying to fix my horse, but it's not getting any better. What gives? Well, more than likely you've been spinning your wheels trying to fix a compensation rather than treating the cause, which could be somewhere else entirely. So then how does chiropractic correct the cause? Well, chiropractic corrects the cause simply by not focusing on the primary area of concern. You heard that correctly. Chiropractic doesn't fix the limp? Well, no, not exactly. When I come out to adjust your horse, I'm not just looking at the area of concern, I'm assessing the entire animal. When I go out to adjust the horse, I'm looking for something called a structural shift. And a structural shift simply means that there's a part of the horse's structure, whether that's vertebrae or another bone, that is shifted out of its normal position. And this happens in either one of two ways. Either A, there's a physical biomechanical shift in which the bone is physically out of its normal position, and therefore the horse cannot physically move that joint within its full range of motion. Or B, there's a neurological disconnect between the brain and the muscles that control the movement of the bones that make up a particular joint. In the latter case, the joint is mechanically sound, meaning that the bones that make up the joint are in their proper position, but the loss of communication or the decreased communication between the brain and the muscles that move those bones has been compromised, and therefore a limited range of motion exists. So by correcting the structural shifts, we allow the body to move properly. And this enables all of the joints to be biomechanically and neurologically sound, which decreases the likelihood that there are compensations happening in other parts of the body. Decrease the compensations and you substantially decrease the rest of the opportunity for degeneration that results in pain, decreased performance, and lameness. The problem is, if you are only looking to treat the sore spot, then you're likely missing the cause. But here's the kicker: not if you check the entire animal, which is what I, as a structural chiropractor, will do. One of the most common questions I'm asked prior to adjusting a horse is, will my horse be sore afterwards? And this question is understandable, given that nobody wants to ride a sore horse into the arena. However, the neurology dictates that the soreness will be decreased following the adjustment, and here's why. Nerve endings sense one of two things, either position or sensation. And one of the sensations that a nerve ending detects is pain. Pain travels via nerve fibers that are very small in diameter. The small diameter of the nerve fibers causes pain signals to travel to the brain very slowly. Nerve endings that detect position, on the other hand, travel along large diameter nerve fibers, and this allows the position information to travel to the brain much faster than pain. So why is this important? Well, the important point here is that the pain and position information from the same area of the body travel the exact same roads from the point at which they enter the spinal cord and travel up to the brain. Therefore, if there's an overwhelming number of position information entering the spinal cord at the same time as pain information is, the position information will beat the pain information every time. This is because the positional information travels faster. This is what's referred to as a pain gate. Think of it this way. Say you were traveling on a major freeway, you were driving a Corvette, and you were with a group of 1,000 other drivers also driving Corvettes. You're traveling at 100 miles per hour. On your route, you pass an on-ramp where you see 1,000 minivans trying to merge onto that freeway. The minivans will never be able to get on the freeway because they cannot drive 100 miles per hour to join the traffic. So more movement in the joints equals more position information being sent to the brain. This equals less pain information getting through. So when someone asks me if their horse will be in pain after the adjustment, my answer is that the neurology says no. Many times I am called out to a horse because the animal is just not moving correctly. Common complaints include the horse won't take a left or right lead, the horse doesn't want to move forward, the horse is short striding on a certain limb, the horse won't lope to the left or right, the horse doesn't want to come around to the left or the right, and these are just a few. The most common conclusion reached by the rider or trainer is that the horse must be injured, and they'll say, "Can you fix it?" But is there any other reason that this movement imbalance could be happening? Regardless of the type of mammal you are, in order to move properly, you must have proper neurological information coming into your brain by way of something called mechanoreceptors. And it's the function of mechanoreceptors to tell our brains where we are in space. For example, if you stand up, close your eyes, and touch the tip of your nose with your finger, you are able to do that because your brain was receiving proper positional information from those mechanoreceptors. And they're located in all of the joints from your shoulder down to your fingertips. This information enabled your brain to know where your finger was relative to your nose without ever having sensory information from your eyes. It's amazing when you think about it. The above example is one that we can relate to very easily, but what about the more subtle role of positional information? In our joints are millions of these mechanoreceptors. The only way that they fire, sending the positional information to the brain, is if the joint moves. No motion or lack of motion in a joint either decreases or stops completely the positional information that's sent to the brain. If the brain is not receiving proper input about the position of a joint, then the output to the muscles that control that joint will also be incorrect. This can lead to a variety of movement issues that can only be corrected by ensuring that the joint is moving properly,
All right,
firing
let's
those
bring in the
mechanoreceptors.
leader of all, our
This
leader
is a
of the
huge part of what an equine chiropractor does.
department,
Why does a joint
March
stop moving properly?
257 for Wisdom
Because of
Horse.
the reasons given in the previous
All
segment.
right,
Either
please
A,
Judge
the
Short
joint
the
is
amateur.
positioned improperly,
First place,
or
number
B,
15,
the
Eastern
brain has
Mass
lost
Champion by Jay
communication
Nelson.
with the joints that
Second,
control the joint.
383, Red Solo Pepper Master
So
by
how does
Pepper.
chiropractic increase
Third,
performance?
345, Phantom
Well,
by
after
Ethan
hearing
Van
about how
Hogan.
chiropractic adjustments
Fourth,
help to prevent
286,
lameness
Represent
and correct
J.D.
movement
Morris.
issues, it's easier to understand why equine chiropractic also increases performance.
7379
If the brain is able to communicate with all the muscles that control all the joints,
Judge 1,
then the
first
body
place
can move how it's
353, red
designed to
solo
move.
cup.
No
Second,
biomechanical shifts,
216 is Barrett
no
Bravo.
neurological disconnects
Third,
means
208,
that the body
Operation
can move
Rock and
as it was
Casey Moto.
designed, and therefore
Fourth,
there are no
286,
compensations.
Smith is it.
As I have discussed,
Fifth, 379,
compensations only
Eldorado Red.
occur if another area of the
Sixth,
body is not
375,
moving
Austin
as it's
Echo
supposed to
and
move,
Tim
and another part of the
Constituted.
body has to take up the slack.
Seventh, 265,
The
Bethlehem
increase in
Stamp,
performance
Michelle
that's
Wagner.
noted by most performance horse
Fourth, Justin
owners and
Phillips, first
riders
place,
occurs
353,
as a
red
result of the
solo cup
removal of
versus
biomechanical and
UTSA.
neurological imbalances.
Second
Once the
and
adjustments are
second
completed, the
USDA,
horse can move in the way
345,
that it was designed to move,
Bobby My
and
Good.
performance increases are
Third,
observed,
number
and it
15 is
is an
Barrett
immediate
Bravo.
observation.
Fourth and third in the NSDA,
So
208,
now
Bobby
that you
Alabama.
understand the importance of having a
Fifth and
well-adjusted
fourth in
horse,
the
what is
NSDA,
your next step?
286, Zip to Zip.
Well, your next step is to
Sixth,
schedule a
189,
chiropractic
Easily
assessment
Driven.
and adjustment with me, either in your
Seventh,
hometown
265,
or at your
Bethlehem
next
Champs. Eric
performance
Best
event.
for first place, 345,
I
Bobby
will be
My Good for
adjusting
second,
horses and people at the
352.
remainder of the
Second,
Zone 2
253, Red Solo
and
Cup.
Utah Paint Horse
Third,
Club's
208, Bobby
Paintorama
Escobar.
from
Fourth,
today, May
number 15
26th
is
through
Barrett
Sunday, May
Bravo.
29th
Fifth, 286,
at the Salt
Zip
Lake
to
County
Zip.
Equestrian Park.
Sixth,
And then I'll be at the
189,
Pinto World
Easily Fed.
Championships in Tulsa,
And
Oklahoma from
seventh,
Sunday, June
379,
11th
Eldorado
through
Red.
Saturday, June
First place,
17th.
Judge Edwards to
I'm currently taking
189.
appointments for both shows, and I can be reached
Second
on my cell phone
and
at
first in the NSDA, 353.
530-908-0912, via email
Third
at
and second in the NSDA,
drmike@sporthorsechiropractic.com
208.
or via Facebook at
Fourth and third in
facebook.com/sporthorsechiropractic.
the NSDA,
Thanks for
286.
watching.